And do you feel hopeful when you think about the next 200
Hmm.
years?
Well, I mean, I think all of us need to have a pessimism of the intellect and an optimism of the will. You know, I mean, because you can't just sort of go around thinking, well, you know, I'm eating kale, and so the world is going to be just fine, because it's not. I mean, we know that we're living in a time of climate change and of, I mean, already, I mean, it would be foolish to sort of think that everything's going to be great, even though we have more food per person than ever before. You know, there are nigh on 900 million people who don't have that food. There's nothing to be cheerful about right now or optimistic about, given that no one seems to be thinking about these questions of distribution at a policy level. On the other hand, abandoning all hope and just sort of concentrating on, you know, growing one's own vegetables, I think is morally truant. You know, I mean, it's abdicating a responsibility that we have the power to assume, and that we have actually, you know, the duty to assume. I mean, here we are in the United States, a country that produces more food than ever before, and yet there are 50 million people who are food insecure right here in the US. And the way that we farm in the US matters to the rest of the world. We have a responsibility, you know, in the global north for, you know, transforming the way that we eat here, so that everyone we know gets to eat. So I think, you know, there's no reason to be automatically optimistic. On the other hand, when you see some of the struggles that are happening around the world, when you see the enthusiasm and the energy that more and more people are devoting towards the food system, because the food system brings together pretty much everything. It's about property, it's about government, it's about joy, it's about science, it's about climate, it's about you know, it's about how we arrange our lives and our society and our environment together. It's an incredibly rich series of questions that people are coming up with some beautiful answers to, and delicious answers to, and I think that's everything to fight for. So I am, you know, as I say, I mean, I'm pessimistic with my intellect, because, you know, you see the corporate power and you see the ways in which these corporations continue to assert their power, but then you see the way in which people are fighting back, and you see the ways in which we are coming up with some really exciting solutions, and the way those solutions are building through a movement to some really important change. And you've got to be hopeful for the future. I mean, I've got a kid, and part of the reason I'm doing Generation Food is for him. It's for the future that I won't live to see, but for the future that I think we need to fight for right now.